Hi guys, today we're going to be doing a preliminary pre-flight on the 737 MAX here in St. Martin, Princess Juliana International Airport. So we're just going to run through the Ifly checklist. There are 76 items, and we're going to try to see if we can follow them through and set it up. Okay, here we have the checklist. So we are gonna start if cold and dark, battery switch and cover on and guarded. So let's get the overhead. Battery switch on and guarded now. Standby power. It's here. Guarded. Alternate flaps, verify guarded and off. So our alternate flaps, guarded and off. Wipers, both in the park position. Hydraulic pumps. Engine on and electric off. Landing gear, we're going to verify down and 3 green. Good. Now establishing GPU power, so park brake. Park brake is set. EFB, you're going to go to power it up and get the ground power services. Connect, let's put in some chocks one time, set. Bring up the airport map while we're here. TNCM, Princess Juliana. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to go to the overhead panel. Check we have the ground power light on. Establish ground power. Check our batteries. Now we're going to get the APU going. So let's do the first item here is a fire test. Just a little bit over here. Okay, APU. Okay, starting APU. Found some lights here. We're getting the sun is setting, so we're gonna get the lights are going. Let's see what's happening outside. Alrighty, So our EPU is on. If we check the generator here now, we have a load on the, it's the CPS frequency comes up 400, showing the APU is running. So let's get APU on. APU generator is on. Ground power. Saying here we can disconnect. Okay, now we're going to start the 76 items here on the preliminary checklist, and the first ones is the RSs. Okay, both to nav, align, and on DC. ELT, guarded and lights out. Elevator, jam, landing assist, lights off and guarded. Checked. Actually, I think I need to adjust checklist there. There you go. Iris, ELT, elevator, jam, landing assist, off and guarded, and then we have our GPS, GLS lights here are out, and the maintenance light all off. Next up, EEC on and all the lights out. That would be the reverser and engine control lights out. Passenger oxygen is guarded and light out. Crew oxygen is sufficient for the flight. So it's 18 there. Landing gear down 3 green. These are the alternate lights. Flight recorder is guarded, closed. Mach speed warning test 1 and 2. We also have the stall warning 1. Stall warning 2. We can put on our dome light here if things get a little too dark as well. Alternate gear, I should say manual gear extension on the floor behind the co-pilot seat, verify closed. So it's closed. You can open it just to check. Alright, so that's number 11. And now we're going to 12, CDU, Program for Flight. That's number 12. Okay, so we can just do a quick program of that. FMC and verified information, your nav data, etc. Position. Reference airport is St. Martin, so that's TNCM. Left GPS position. Okay, so next we can go to route TNCM, and we're going to Kilo Echo Whiskey Romeo. Request flight plan. Okay, we just put our zero fuel weight, reserves, cruise wind, cruise altitude 360, and N1 limit. We can assume temperature food air, deal rate 86.1, takeoff climb 1. So takeoff would be flaps 5, CG 6.44 units, 141, 143, 153. Okay, pre-flight complete on this CDU. Okay, let's do a quick check, see how much time left on the RS is with the one minute and the RSS will initialize, and then we'll get our screens and nav pages up. Okay, so CDU is programmed for flight. Let's go now to the overhead panel once again, and we're starting with coming down from the top here. So flight controls, guarded, spoilers, guarded, yaw damper on, navigation normal, RS is normal, FSC normal, displays auto and normal, cross feed is closed, fuel pumps off, so one on for the APU. Let's see here, next is the cab utility and IFE, in-flight entertainment for the passenger seats, normal. Oh, sorry, that's equipment that's up here, so we put those on. Standby power. There's one more thing I missed there. Battery discharge, TR units and electrics. That's up here. These three. Our lights are out. I'm reading a small checklist here, so it's kind of hard to follow. Generator drive disconnect, red guarded, verify guarded, and lights off. Well, I guess it would be this one. Okay, and the next is the engine generator off bus lights. These two at the bottom, so those are on. Of course, the engine's not running. Okay, lavatory smoke coming up top here. Light is out. Equipment cooling normal. And we'll arm the emergency lights. No smoking, can leave at auto, and fasten belts at auto. Okay, windshield heat. One, two, three, four on. Probe heat auto for now. Engine wing anti-ice off. Engine anti-ice off. And like before, our hydraulics pumps engines are on and electric off. Trim air is on. Temperature switches auto. And we're getting to the bleed. Recirc fans are auto, there's no on, so we just leave them in auto. Checklist says on. Isolation valve is open. APU bleed on. Here we go, we get the duct pressure comes up. We're going to get that on to start the engines and give our cooling while on the ground. Pack warning lights extinguished. These two here. Okay, number 43 on the list. So we're down to 44, cabin pressurization panel. So we have it's in auto, and this would be the manual selection. So we have our cruise altitude and landing elevation set. It should be on. If we're going into nighttime ops, we can put it on. And we have our position and steady, and anti-call wing and wheel lights are all off now. Okay, so now we're going to do the EFIS and MCP. Okay, so the EFIS, I'm going to put terrain on and TFC for traffic. Okay, we could put in the plan mode, and we would have checked our waypoints all the way up to New York. So we leave that on the map mode. Yeah, we could put in the VSD for the vertical climb as well. And for the co-pilot side, we can put on the terrain as well. You can put airports, TFC for traffic. Okay, the MCP, we don't have a course. We can put our first routing outbound on the SID. I'll leave it at 0 for now. So the flight director we'll put on. Let's put on number 1 first. So we get the left seat pilot as a flying pilot. Flight director 2. So we get the ME here, master on the number 1. So that don't say who's doing the first leg. Our speed will be the V2, and according to the takeoff or V2 takeoff page or V2, we can check here. V2 is 153. Our heading, we can put our runway heading for our runway 10. Altitude, initial altitude, leave at 10,000. So we can put on, once we have the flight directors on, we can put on the VNAV. I don't think I'll get an LNAV because there's no intercept heading, so we'll put heading for now. Okay, so we'll arm the auto throttle once we, after we start it up. That's our taxi checks, I believe. Okay, so we've done that. Now let's go. The next one is autopilot disengage bar. We can see that it's up. Okay, so continuing with our lights check, we're also looking up on the overhead, checking all the lights overhead. No blown bulbs. Good. So you can take that off, and then we'll check the GPWS. There's quite a few call outs, so we'll just listen to that while it goes through automatically.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Sink rate. Pull up. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 2,500. 1,000. 500. 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Too low, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Caution, obstacle. Caution, obstacle. Obstacle, obstacle. Pull up.
Okay, that's the GPWS. So we now do the integrated standby flight director. So we just verify we have the correct bar setting, and we have our app selection here, so we can have the glide slope and localizer in case we need to use it in an emergency situation. Alright, so landing gear down 3 green, fuel flow. Here we can check, reset, auto brake is RTO set, CR switch, press. You can check the recall here for any messages about auto land fault. Selector switches, C on both. Speed brake is down, as you can see. Thrust levers, idle and reverses are stowed. Yep. Flaps are 0 and indicating 0. Parking brake is on with the light. Engine start levers cut off. Stabilizer trim cutoff switches are normal and guarded. Cargo fire suppression. It's over here. We just press it's a quick test. Here we go. So the lights came on. And the radios, so we can set frequencies. You can have, say, 121.5 and the standby. You can put the ATIS frequencies on this one as well. Multi-mode receivers. That's these two. So the VR, we have ILS. Here are ILS frequencies. You can put GLS here if you needed it, and you can switch them over here. Same on the other side. VR and ILS frequencies. ADF. We can just leave that on off in order to use the ADFs. Radar panel. We have a test, a normal, but map modes 1 and 2. It's not modeled in this sim, so we do just leave the switches as is. Transponder. We could put above or below. And selector here. TRA, T only, transponder, or switch auto and on. And number 76 is the stabilizer trim override switch, which is right down at the bottom. It's guarded and normal. Okay, so those were the 76 items. And then the next we'd go into the pre-flight checklist we'd call for. Should be oxygen, navigation, transfer, display switches, auto normal, window heat, pressurization mode, flight instruments, heading, altimeter, etc. Park brake, engine start, levers cut off. Before start, we would verify the N1 bugs, the MCP, which we did, set the V2, runway heading, initial altitude, did all that, exterior door panels, all lights out, fuel pumps all on, center pumps off if there's no fuel in there, anti-collision light will be on, stop trim verify, set for takeoff, and that would get us going for the pushback. Okay, that's it for the preliminary checks. quite a lot of items there to cover, you know, and we are trying to get familiar with the flows, so sorry it went so slow. But at least we get an idea of what all the switches are. Beautiful sunset here in St. Martin. Okay, great. Till the next video. Thanks for watching.